Okay, so this is your host again today, Walk and Talk, episode 4. And it's another random day in Japan. And it's a pretty good. I don't know, I don't understand why, when every time I'm trying to talk, it becomes fucking windy. Like, honestly, I swear, until I wasn't setting my entire thing, there was absolutely no wind. But now all of a sudden, there's wind. And I don't know why. But yeah, so an update. Yesterday, I got a hate comment on my episode 3, which was pretty controversial topic, I would accept, because the topic was Japan's cleanliness is hypocritical. So I got a hate comment, uh, and this is coming from an Indian classic, which is, yeah, a hate comment, I guess. But I mean, it feels good. Like, whoa. Now it looks like we are finally reaching somewhere. Because I mean, I did not even have any comments at all on my videos, to be fair. And now I have a hate comment on my episode 3. You can check it out. But yeah, um, on today's episode, I'm going to talk about something else, something more serious that I have quite experienced myself in Japan. I have heard my colleagues experience that, and I have, you know, read loads of stuff, seen loads of videos about this in Japan. So today we are going to talk about the loneliness crisis in Japan. I won't exactly call it a crisis. And oh yeah, I'm at the gas station, so we had to stop for a bit, not to get gas filled in us, but because there was a car trying to cross. But yes, we are today going to talk about something controversial, and we are going to talk about Japan's loneliness crisis, loneliness situation, correcting myself, loneliness situation, because I don't know, I've just felt it myself at this point. It's been more than it's almost going to be 3 weeks until I've moved to Japan, and yeah. One thing I've really noticed in Japan is that even though Japan seems like really technology oriented and futuristic, people don't really talk much over here. People, it's more of a cultural thing that people tend to mind their own business, and people are told that don't make eye contact, don't start random conversations, don't do random stuff, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's what actually creates loneliness, because if everyone keeps minding their own business, you have absolutely no one to talk to. And I really used to have a skewed perception of Japan before. That I used to think that, bro, everyone minds their own business. There's no random conversations. There's no random people trying to talk to you. So it must be really good. Because I, being an introvert myself, I know how much effort it takes me to pull myself in front of the camera every day and try to talk shit like this, right? And I'm an introvert, so I don't really like it back in India when people try to make random conversations with me, small talk and all that bullshit. So it just really pisses me off. Anyways, my hand is sort of aching, so I guess now we are going to shift to another hand. Yeah. Wait. I'll just keep talking while I set up my my phone. So yeah, I used to think that, oh, it must be so good in Japan because people don't make random stupid conversations, which really used to piss me off back in India. But now it turns out I actually sort of miss it. I miss random people trying to talk to me, trying to ask me things. You won't find it much over here in Japan. In most situations, I'm the one who's asking people things. Oh, Uh, what about for this guy? What about for this guy? You know, like, where is this stuff? And but yeah, it turns out Japan has a pretty lonely population because people try to first of all keep to themselves, and then second of all, the work culture only makes it worse. I mean, from as far as I've heard, I mean, my university's work culture is pretty good. It's really chill. There's really no restrictions and anything. But from what I have seen and what I've heard in videos, what I've seen is that, people are actually working in bad conditions, bad environments. And I mean, I've seen people having these after work drinking parties. They're not real friendships, man, honestly. They're just work friendships. So yeah, that's one thing that these things, they don't really solve any sort of, loneliness crisis that is created in Japan. And as far as I remember, about 40% of the Japanese population that is under 25 lives all alone by themselves, which is like really bad because I mean, even in my country and almost every other country, people under that population are mostly sharing their rooms with one or the other person. Now, of course, it's not like, and also, let's talk about hikikomoris. I'm pretty sure some of you must have heard of hikikomoris. Hikikomoris, for people who don't know, are people who try to recluse themselves, who basically try to, cut themselves off from the society. They don't leave their houses, they don't leave their rooms. And they basically, some of them survive on their parents' money, some of them find remote work, and they just don't want to talk to anyone. And currently, from the statistic that I remember, there's around 1 million hikikomoris in Japan as we speak, which is very sad considering Japan's population is like already very low. It's like 100 million or something. I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact figures. But yeah, so to solve all this, the Japanese government has tried to take initiatives. The Japanese government tried to start rent-a-friend services where you could rent paid actors to be your fucking friends. Like, bro, that's so sad. I'm not gonna say it's pathetic, it's not pathetic, it's just sad. It's sad that you have to rent a person to act as your friend. But yeah. And there's other services like maid cafes and all that stuff. But I feel that, this weird sense of loneliness that I myself have felt in Japan, I think this can only be solved by one thing, which is the thing is that I have noticed is that the Japanese government itself promotes this introverted culture. I have literally seen people buying book covers so that they can hide their books' names, which is pretty pathetic. Like, why do you not want a person to start a conversation about the book you're reading, bro? Like, even as an introvert myself, I would actually want that, because that is something that would align to my interests. But yeah, I think the only way that can be really changed is by changing, I guess, the culture, the mindset, this perception of people that they necessarily need to mind their own goddamn business, which isn't really true at all. And the only thing that has made it worse are phones. Like, even as I look around, I can find a few people and all of them are on their fucking phones, bro. Which is like really sad. Like, I don't even know, I don't understand what people really see in their phones. Because like, you would see people being like this in their phones. So yeah, I don't really understand. And as I said, to make things worse, the culture, the mindset of Japanese people is that they should not meddle with other people's concerns. They should not meddle with other people's conflicts and stuff. Like, I don't know. You don't have to necessarily be like that. That's what coming to Japan has made me realize that, this Indian habit of trying to peek into everything is actually a habit that promotes communal harmony between us. It's actually a habit that prevents us from being lonely. And I think the instant that we try to finish this habit is the instant that everyone becomes lonely. So, yeah, I guess this was it for today. My first ever no cut video. And I think I look better in this one as well. So, yeah, goodbye, friends.